Should you buy Black Myth Wukong?
Should I?
I don't know. Should you?
Should I?
Should you?
I should.
I think you answered your own question there.
Nah. Because honestly, I'm not gonna lie, that's all you've been playing these past few days. I don't see much of the appeal.
No,
I mean, it looks pretty, but like besides that,
well, the
I don't really know.
game, the game is actually really, really good. It's a semi-open world game, not really that open, kind of like the old Dark Souls or Bloodborne. You have specific areas that you can go to. You can go around that set area, loot around, fight enemies. There's also, like rest sites, I guess, where you offer incense here, which are this
Oh.
equivalent in this game to the Souls game bonfires or Bloodborne's lamps.
So are they bonfires or are they lamps?
It's the same thing either way.
But like, what does it look like?
It looks like a little shack mixed with weird trees, okay? I don't know how to describe it. All I know is that you pluck your hair and then boom, you put a thingy in the pot and somehow, some way, you can teleport across these, and when you rest at them, you refill all your stamina, magic, health, and you
Magic?
reset the enemies. Yes, so in this game, there's magic, which kind of sounds dumb when I say it like that. In this game, it's actually called spells.
Oh, okay.
There's one that I currently use that immobilizes the enemies. So while the enemy's immobilized, obviously you can run around and whack them with your stick a few times, get a little bit of a whack advantage.
I'm gonna whack you again! Whack me again? Yeah, whack you again.
I feel like that'd be like that'd make the game way too easy though.
There's a cooldown on it, so once you use it once, you have to wait for it to reset. So, if you don't kill them fast enough, they can obviously attack back, and then if you're bad, you will die. There's also another one that lets me do a cloud mist dash, and I immediately do decent damage. There's also a lot of different enemies. Some look like frogs, some look like normal wolves that stand on two legs, very different. But the enemies are relatively easy, especially in the beginning of the game. If you just hold a charge attack, you just one hit them.
That's crazy.
But later on, that one hit attack doesn't work. And there's also enemies that use bows, and the bows in this game are probably the most toxic that I have ever faced out of any other game.
Why? Is it like super quick or what?
Yeah, they spam it and it completely staggers you for like a split second every single time.
It staggers?
Well, I guess more so stun, but it's not pleasant.
Can you actually use the bow or is that like only for the enemies?
From what I've played, you can't use it, but you can deflect the arrows. But at the same time, if there's multiple enemies, it's more so of a hassle, and I like just running around and smacking them with my staff. Yeah, and then from what I've seen, the only weapon you do get to use is a staff, which makes sense because he's known for using a staff. The UI is actually pretty nice. It lets you see your health gauge, the magic gauge, well, I guess mana gauge, the stamina bar, and then there's a gourd at the bottom left that shows how much you have that you can heal. And then your abilities are on the right side, and on the left side there's certain items that you can equip.
Like what?
There's one called amplification pellets. It moderately increases critical hit chance for a certain duration.
Okay. So it doesn't cost anything to use them. They just waste like items. Like you have, one item.
Well, yeah, like Essences on Dark Souls and all that, like an item, you know the difference.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. And see, for me, I feel like Wukong, I guess you said the attack patterns are really interesting to me because, okay, something I don't like on Dark Souls is it feels pretty stiff, like attack after attack after attack. I'm not gonna diss the Dark Souls series and say it's bad, but I'm just saying, it's a typical attack after attack, like things like that. But with Wukong, I felt like the amount of acrobatics in the game was pretty cool, especially with the dodges and everything.
Oh yeah, being able to combo up on here, doing a few light attacks, hitting with a heavy, and then there's also talent in the game. It lets you change stances, and when you change stances, you get new attacks. And there's also different trees that you upgrade: a stamina tree, martial arts tree, survival tree. Each one has its own thing, whereas when you go with obviously the stamina tree, then you increase your stamina. I'm just playing, I lied to you.
Bruh.
Survival increases stamina, health, and other things, whereas the stamina tree decreases the amount of stamina that you use when you sprint, dodge, and things of that nature. The martial arts tree increases, I guess, your fighting abilities in a way. It lets you start an attack from further away. It lets you deflect arrows. There's a lot of different things. When it comes to staff stances, you can change between smash stance, pillar stance, and the thrust stance. Each one has its own way of fighting, obviously, because they're stances.
Right.
It reminds me of the boss fight at the beginning of the game that I was struggling with. I spent a lot of time upgrading Wukong, and I saw that the pillar stance would cause me to elevate myself above, the staff. And it says that it avoids ground attacks while you're doing it. But when I did the attack, I assumed, hey, the boss keeps killing me with ground attacks, so let me raise myself above him. The moment I do that, he just head slams me.
Nah, there's no way around it.
There's also a change in armor that you can go through. You can get different armors throughout the game. You just progress, you unlock armor sets. The armor sets have stats, and some of them have passive abilities, like one mask moderately increases the will gained from defeating an enemy. Will in this game is the currency, whereas in the Souls games it's souls, here it's will. As you play through the game, if you die, you don't lose any of it, so there's no punishment here for dying.
That's crazy, bro. You know how many thousands of souls I've lost in Elden Ring? That's actually, see, I don't know if I like that or not, because like it makes it easier, but at the same time that's less frustrating, so it's more enjoyable.
Yeah, I feel like this game is more oriented towards casuals, whereas the Souls games could be for casuals, but it's not necessarily the easiest.
Okay. But the real question is that stats matter, but so does appearance. So I have to I don't want to be over there looking ugly just for the stats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, from what I'm seeing currently, you can replace, if you don't like a mask, you can change the settings to where a mask doesn't appear. But what I don't like is that they overlook the unequipping of a mask. I don't see why, because what if you accidentally equip a mask and you want to do a no mask run or no equipment run? You just accidentally set up a mask, you can't take it off, so you're kind of screwed the whole game.
Oh dang, that's weird.
I hope they end up changing it. We're not really sure. I don't know. The settings in this game are kind of difficult to understand from what I'm seeing. I spent a good time dealing with the settings as my game couldn't run well in 4K, even though I have a really high-end system. I was able to put everything on cinematic except 3 settings: the shadow quality, the visual effect quality, and global illumination. So shadow quality and visual effect quality definitely destroyed my frame rate, and it just was not pleasant. Global illumination, I have that on I have it on low because it caused my game to look terrible. It made certain grass areas turn white, which made no sense. It just made it look extremely ugly, especially in boss fights.
Nah, they just wanted you to get a little bit of taste. You could choose either the forest green or snow. Whatever mood you're in.
Yeah, definitely. There was one wolf that had like half its fur missing because it decided, yeah, let's not render that.
Wow.
And it just turns out, from what I've read online, that it's just an AMD driver issue. I'm not sure if they will fix that. I hope so, so I can increase that as well, because the lighting just looks so good.
So then this game is more NVIDIA favored.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And that's because you're playing on like a higher end AMD, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
But besides that, if you don't put those settings on, the frame rate of this game it's pretty nice. It's demanding, but it's still very playable.
Yeah.
The boss that I'm at right now is a giant gorilla, and he just smacks me. I don't know what to do about him. Oh, he's
is
a
he?
bear. This whole time I thought he was a gorilla. No, but he hurts, okay?
That's insane.
But all in all, the boss fights are really fun. Really, I feel like it's really obvious when there's a boss fight, because the arenas are like always open whenever there's a boss fight, which in a way I don't like, because I like to be surprised. I don't want it to just always be like, oh yeah, boss fight, big open arena.
Right.
But it's definitely really fun, and they're really spacious. You can run around, hop around, flip around, dodge attacks. And then the parrying, I guess there isn't a parry per se, it's more so a perfect dodge, and it's so clean. There was one boss that I wouldn't recommend. He was a big boy. He definitely smacked me up a good bit, and I'm assuming it was a later game boss, but he was the first boss that I went up against, and I spent a good hour trying to kill him. When I finally managed to kill him, the game said, yeah, you can't obtain a soul because you haven't progressed
What?
far enough. Yeah, I wasted a good hour for no reason.
So you didn't get the souls at all?
Well, yes, but no. I guess you could refer to it as a spell. I guess here it's called a spirit. I wasn't able to claim it until I progressed further. Of course, I'm happy that the game decided to have a failsafe in that regard, so I could just retrieve it later on through another what's this thingy called? I don't know what the hell this site is called, okay? The rest site. The shrine. There we go.
Oh,
The
okay.
shrine. Ahora por fin puedo ver las cosas. Over 2 spirits. Yes, I can do it. See, it was a lost spirit. All lost spirits have been retrieved.
Okay. Okay, so this game seems very action-packed. But another popular thing within like the Dark Souls series, Elden Ring, you have your whole story of you going through your adventure, bringing light, all that jazz. Does this have a story?
Wukong at the beginning of the game is smacking up some guy, and the guy chases Wukong, and then it turns out that you're not really Wukong from what I'm interpreting. You could be a reincarnation, I guess, but you're getting essentially all the abilities Wukong had. You learn them as you progress.
Okay, interesting. So we're basically Wukong was somebody before us, and we got reincarnated as Wukong.
It's way more complicated than that, I feel like.
Okay. Well, I guess you'll see, further down in the story.
I don't think you'll be able to beat this game.
So you're saying it is for casuals. I myself am a casual, but you have to put a little bit of blood, sweat, and tears into it. Just a little.
Like, yes, just dedicate some time to it. I'd say that this game is targeted towards casuals in that sense. In the sense that the game's just really easy, but there are moments that just get really, really hectic. I guess ultimately, I definitely recommend this game to anybody just looking to have fun, whack around, play an easier sense of the Souls games. Although I wouldn't say it's extremely similar to Souls games. I just feel like it's a fun semi-open world game.
And it looks pretty nice. It doesn't look too bad as far as quality goes.
But yeah, the game looks beautiful, really good, really beautiful. It's really fun. Going around fighting the bosses, the normal enemies is just a really good time. I can see myself playing this game whenever I have free time. It's just fun. I don't really have fun playing a lot of games anymore, but this one's really nice. It's just different. It has a whole different spin to Souls-likes, and it's just great. I definitely recommend it to anybody wanting to play something different.